Welcome back to episode 33. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Thomas.
And we're NPK Hydroponics. To talk about this week, from the Barcelona Grow Show to Coventry Home Grown Expo and everything we've been up to in between. So the last time we aired, we were in Barcelona and we recorded 12 shows with hours of information for you to digest, so we've given you all a few weeks to soak it in and not get too far behind on the podcast. But we're also having an overhaul of sorts. Myself and Thomas had a chat and decided that we need to improve our podcasts. So what started out as an off-the-cuff idea to talk about what we are so passionate about has turned into something a lot bigger, with hundreds and hundreds of subscribers and all over the UK, the US, Canada, Australia and all over the world. So I have to say thank you very much for tuning in, subscribing and giving us your time. But we'll tell you a bit more about how we're updating the show later. So how are you, Thomas?
I'm pretty well, pretty exhausted, as you know, as we all are, because we've been extremely busy over the past few months with the Grow Show in Barcelona, the podcasting there, those long amount of episodes, and thanks to our editor Rick,
got through them in a week.
Yeah, he did, and got them all out to you listeners. So
well done, Rick, for doing that within a week.
Yeah, hats off to you. Also, just thanks to our listeners. Obviously, we haven't done a podcast for a while because we wanted to let you digest what was on. Yeah,
it was a lot of information, especially from the likes of Theo from Gavita. That was a lot of information to take in. And we talked with all the guys from CO2 canisters. William Texier, that was another great podcast.
Yeah, we did actually get some really good interviews at Barcelona. So I hope everybody enjoyed all of the episodes that we put up. And today we're not going to baffle you with all hydroponic stuff. We're just going to give you a little heads up to what we've been doing, what's going on and what's coming up in the future. And also as well, Stephen spoke about before how many listeners and how the podcast has grown, and so we've decided to take the podcasting into another level now, and we've started to maybe pay a bit more attention to what we are saying on these podcasts. And if there is certain subjects again to our listeners and you do want us to go over them subjects, feel free to drop us a line or email us. You just get a hold of us and we're happy to talk whatever you want to discuss.
Okay, so you mentioned about one of the reasons as well that we've taken a few weeks to get another podcast in is because of the opening of the Superstore. So how's that been for you personally, Thomas?
Okay, well, first of all, if you don't know what we're talking about, we have NPK has opened a hydroponic Superstore. Now what that entails is we have 2 floors of full hydroponic setups available for the public to come along, come in our showroom and walk around various setups and equipment and have a look and maybe play with these products and see how they work and ask some questions. So we've been building that since December and we've just finished, so the store is now open.
It is. We've all been really stressed, a lot of late nights, but it's finally paid off and we are sat here now in our custom recording studio.
Yes, we are indeed. As I say, we've upped our game. So you probably recall before we went to Barcelona, we told you guys how we had upgraded our recording equipment. So you can hopefully make heads or tail of our dodgy Scouse accents. And now we've stepped it up a bit further because with our new premises, we have a recording studio that we have fitted out just for the sole purpose of pleasing you guys or torturing you guys, should I say, with our mundane, boring voices.
It sounds really good though. We'll see what it sounds like once our master editor has put his lovely touches on it. But also what we're looking on doing, I'll speak a bit more on it later, we're looking on starting our own YouTube channel. So for those of you that probably get a little bit bored just sitting here listening, we're going to start doing some YouTube so you can actually see us podcasting live.
Oh my god. So yeah, you can actually view us and see what we're actually doing rather than just listening to us, which will be probably quite interesting.
Yeah, very interesting to say the least.
I'll have to get my hair cut.
I'll just keep my cap on.
Oh, there's no chance of Steve shaving his beard anyway. It's only 6 foot long.
Oh no. So if you would like the address of the new Superstore, just type in www.npktechnology.co.uk and all the contact details are on there.
Okay. What's coming up very soon?
Coventry Home Grown Expo.
Okay.
The 30th and the 31st of May at the Rico Arena in Coventry.
So that's what? How many days away?
Oh, it's about 3 weeks away, isn't it?
3 weeks away, so 21 days away. It's a public event.
Yeah.
How much is the fee for entrance?
This year they've actually opened the event, so I believe it doesn't cost yet.
Excellent. So okay, to the public, it's free of charge. Is there an age restriction? I think it may be.
There's a possible over 16s, only because I think some of the equipment can be quite heavy. If some of the exhibitors have got lights on, they might be a bit hot, but we might have to double check on that, because I think they may allow families in during the Saturday, and then on the Sunday it's...
Well, we can check that out, can't we?
We'll let you know close to the time. But it's in its second year. This is its second year, and we're both really excited to attend, because last year was a great success, and that was when it was in its first year, which is when it's your first year, it's a hard thing to get public awareness, to get people attending. Let's
tell the public, what is the Home Grown Expo? What is it, and why would they want to go?
So, if you're listening to us because you are interested in hydroponics and indoor growing, then obviously it's a show for you, because it has all the indoor systems available, and you'll get to meet the most brilliant minds and the people with the most innovative technologies. But also for people that work on allotments, if you've got your own allotment, if you're just a keen kitchen gardener, if you've got windowsill herbs, outdoor gardens, anything that interests you to do with growing plants, this is the show for you, because it's more about advancing technologies to get people growing their own herbs at home. I know that things like GMOs, genetically modified organisms, that's a big discussion, and there's a lot of people scared about that. So people starting to grow their own fruit and veg is a massive market, and if that's what you are interested in, then this is the show for you.
So if you are available, what's the date again, Stephen?
The 30th of May, which is a Saturday, and the 31st of May, which is the Sunday.
And it's being held in
Rico Arena in Coventry.
Okay, so to all you novice growers or intermediate or expert growers, if you're not doing nothing that day, pop down, and not only is the show informative, but you can sometimes grab a few freebies as well.
There's quite a few freebies.
Pop down, and you never know, you might come away with some nice pots or some free lily seeds, or
Dutch growers have some nice giveaways as well.
They were giving the little
seed packs bits
with
of
a few pots
fertilizer,
a bag of fertilizer, a few pots and a few seed packs to get you on your way. So pop down, it's a good day out. There's drinks and refreshments available. So
it was everyone that attended last year, everybody had a brilliant time. There's a bit of a Brucey bonus for this year.
Oh yeah, what's that?
That is that we are also, as well as attending the show, we are very privileged to be able to have a stand at the show as well.
Yeah.
We'll be doing our podcasts live, so if you do come down to the show, you don't have to just listen on Podbean or iTunes, you don't have to just watch on YouTube, you can come and see us recording live.
Yeah. And to be honest, we haven't really discussed it, because we're still, designing the stand for the show, but perhaps we could even have an hour-long section where we get some of the public on, what their views are, and what their takes are on indoor growing, and what things they like to grow, and
what they'd like to see in the future.
Yeah, and what do you think of the show?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So come down. We'll have a dedicated hour for the attendees of the show, and you can come on to our NPK Hydroponics Live and have a chat with us, myself and Thomas.
Yeah.
There'll also be, I've just discussed this with Thomas this morning, we bought some Kopi Luwak. Now, if you haven't heard of this, watch The Bucket List, the film with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. It's a brilliant film by itself, but Jack Nicholson loves his Kopi Luwak. It's his coffee, and Morgan Freeman advises him that he really wouldn't like to taste that coffee. And Jack Nicholson says, why is this? It's the most beautiful tasting coffee that there is. And Morgan Freeman turns around and goes, because it's come out the back end of a civet. So what Kopi Luwak is, a very rare, very expensive coffee, and it's eaten by the civet. And they only pick the finest berries, the digested berries will poop out the coffee bean, and these coffee beans are collected by farmers and they are sold, and it is one of the most expensive and supposedly one of the best tasting coffees that you can ever have. So for all of the people that attend the show and come to our stand, there will be a little bit of Kopi Luwak coffee for you. You'll be able to see a coffee plant. If you like a little bit of sweetening in your coffee, we'll have an agave plant to show you.
I might even attend myself, if that sounds really good. Oh no, I am actually going.
So yeah, that's the Kopi Luwak. Also, I'd just like to point out, doing my research for Kopi Luwak, I know we're going off a bit off tangent here, but I think it's important to say, if after the show you think, oh, this Kopi Luwak is beautiful, there's also a lot of farmers that are caging civets. So basically you've got caged civets being force-fed coffee beans or these coffee cherries, and the civets are excreting the coffees and they're being packaged up and sold as Kopi Luwak for very big prices. So what I've made sure is that the coffee that we've got is fair trade, so the farmers get a good price, and it's also organic. I've seen the farmers actually hand-picking from the civets, so the civets naturally pick the best berries, and it's very important that if you do go to buy Kopi Luwak, you get it from fair trade organic companies.
Can you get free range civets?
I don't know. Yeah, I think ours is free range.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you can, that could be a business idea there, bro.
Keeping civets next as well as chickens and ducks.
Funny thing is, I don't even know what a civet is.
It's something that you don't you strain vegetables on it. A civet.
Yeah.
Also, just to round off the Coventry Home Grown Expo, if you would like to come but you need a ticket, just email us at npktechnologyltd@hotmail.co.uk with your home address, and we'll email you out some tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the updated NPK Live. So, like Thomas said before, along with the new equipment which works sublimely at Barcelona, despite the hundreds of people buzzing around, we're going to talk a lot more about products, growing techniques, as well as growing methods and how best to implement them. I would really like to start interviewing people from around the world, so that's something that we're working really hard on doing through something called VoIP, which is Voice over Internet Protocol. We'd also like to start our video podcasting, which is we mentioned before, and I'd like to start a blog as well, which is starting from episode 34. So if you don't have time to listen to the full show, we're actually going to write down what we say in the show and put it into a blog for you. So the juiciest information, all them snippets of textbook sayings from myself and Thomas.
I won't actually be doing any of the writing bit.
We'll be putting them into a blog for you all, so you can read it at your own leisure.
Yeah.
And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to Eric from Garden Culture Magazine and Richard from Down to Earth Kent for the stand at Coventry, and also Eric has also helped a lot with ideas for improving our podcasts. So a big shout out to Eric all the way over in Canada. You'll also see an advertisement for NPK Hydroponics Live on the next issue of Garden Culture.
So watch out for that.
Watch out for that, yeah. So to wrap it up, if you're free at the end of May, get to the Home Grown Expo in Coventry. Check it out on www.homegrownexpo.co.uk.
Also, don't forget, as I mentioned before, we now have the NPK Superstore. So if you are a novice grower and you want to expand your array of tools and want to view some very unique and distinctive hydroponics setups, pop down and see us.
And even if you're an expert grower, you're always ready to learn.
Yeah.
So come down, check us out.
Thank you.
You've been listening to NPK Hydroponics Live. We'll see you next time when myself and Thomas will be doing a review of grow tents and the features you'll need for when buying. Ta-ra now.
Bye-bye.